Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine that instead of being born into the modern world of phones, lights, and soft beds, you arrive screaming into the cold, brutal world of Scandinavia more than 1,000 years ago. The year is 850. Outside, the wind howls like a wolf prowling the fjords. The sea crashes against the cliffs, hungry and restless. And inside a smoky wooden longhouse, under the flickering glow of firelight, you, a fragile infant, take your very first breath. Congratulations, you are a Viking. But don't cheer yet, because in this world, life is short, fate is cruel, and only the strong or the very lucky survive. Your mother grits the hand of a midwife, her screams drowned out by the roar of the storm. There are no doctors, no hospitals, only herbs, chants, and hope. Birth is a battlefield, and not all mothers leave it alive. When you emerge, the elder of the family inspects you by firelight. If you are strong, you are welcomed. If you are weak, twisted, or sickly, the snow outside may become your cradle. It is brutal, but to the Vikings, mercy was weakness. And weakness threatened the survival of all. But you, tiny as you are, pass the test. You are sprinkled with water, given a name, often that of a dead ancestor, as if their spirit will march forward inside your small chest. The Norns, the weavers of fate, have tied your thread to the great tapestry of life, for now you live. Your childhood is no playground. Instead of plastic toys and screens, your hands grasp wooden swords and miniature longships carved by your father. Knuckle bones from sheep become your dice. Every game prepares you for survival. From dawn till dusk, you work. Fetch water from icy streams, gather firewood, herd goats across rocky hillsides. Childhood is short because the world demands much. At night, you huddle by the fire, while the skalds, Viking poets, chant sagas of gods and heroes, Thor with his hammer, Odin with his ravens, Loki weaving chaos like a spider spins its web. These tales are more than stories. They are lessons written in firelight, warnings, guides, and inspiration. But death is never far. Illness, hunger, an accident with an axe. The world has teeth, and it bites often. If you survive past 5 winters, you are considered lucky. Each breath is a victory. By your teens, childhood is over. The world now demands you earn your place. If you're a boy, the time of games is gone. You train with swords and shields, your muscles aching, your skin bruised. Pain becomes your tutor, and scars your report card. At 15, you might be allowed on your first raid. Picture it, standing on a longship, salt stinging your eyes, fear in your gut. Ahead lies a monastery, fat with silver, soft with prayers. Behind you, your father shouts, "Row harder." The sea groans, the ship surges forward, and so does your destiny. If you are a girl, your role is no less heavy. Marriage might come early, a bond forged not from love, but from family alliances. You weave, you cook, you manage the household. Yet Viking women carry power rare in this age. You may own land, you may divorce, you may run farms while men raid. And in whispers, the sagas tell of shield maidens, women who chose the sword instead of the spindle, whose courage burned as bright as any man's. At feasts, you sit among kin, drinking from horns of mead while stories thunder through the hall. The message carved into every tale is clear. Life is short. Death is certain. But glory is eternal. Adulthood is a storm. Farming. When you are not raiding, you farm. The soil is stubborn, rocky, and cold. You rise with the dawn, planting barley, oats, and rye. You raise pigs, goats, and cattle. Smoke curls from longhouses where families eat fish stews thickened with bread. Winters are harsh. Sometimes survival comes down to how well you can stretch a sack of grain. Raiding, but farming is not enough. For wealth, for honor, for sheer survival, you raid. You climb into a longship, its dragon-headed prow snarling at the sea. Days blur together, rowing till your arms burn, sleeping in shifts, storms that nearly split the ship apart. And then, land. A monastery, rich with gold but soft with prayers. You and your kin crash ashore, swords drawn, faces painted, battle cries rising like thunder. Blood and silver mix in the mud. This is what it means to be a Viking. Religion and rituals. Your life is guided by gods and fate. You sacrifice animals, sometimes even humans, to Odin, Thor, or Freya. You fear the day of Ragnarok, when the world will burn, gods will die, and the sea will swallow the earth. Magic weaves through your world. Seers known as vulvas speak prophecies. Runes are carved into wood and bone to twist fate in your favor. At night, you feast. Music echoes, meat roasts over fire, mead flows like rivers. But even in laughter, death lurks in the corner, patient. The Viking world is not only about warriors, it is a world of family and law. Men fight, but women manage the hearth, the farm, the wealth. A woman's keys, dangling at her waist, are symbols of power. Families are strong, but blood feuds are stronger. A single insult can spark generations of vengeance. Justice comes at the Thing, the Viking parliament, where men gather in open fields to argue, settle disputes, or declare blood prices. Sometimes, trials are decided not by words, but by ordeal, plunging your hand into boiling water, or surviving combat to prove the gods are on your side. And then there are thralls, slaves captured in raids or born into bondage. They work the hardest, eat the least, and die the youngest. Freedom is a dream they rarely reach. If, by some miracle, you live past 50, you are considered ancient. Your body bends, your hair grays, but your mind becomes the fire of the community. Children gather around you to hear sagas. Men seek your advice in disputes. You are no longer a warrior, but a storyteller. And in this world, words can be as sharp as swords. But even in peace, danger waits. Diseases have no cure. A broken bone can fester and kill. Winters gnaw at the weak. Each day feels like standing on the edge of a cliff, knowing the sea below waits for you. At last, your time comes. Perhaps you fall in battle, your sword slipping from your hand as the sky grows dark. Perhaps you die in bed, coughing blood into the straw. But death is not the end. To a Viking, it is a doorway. If you died bravely, Valkyries descend, shining like fire, lifting you to Valhalla, Odin's Hall of Heroes. There you feast forever, fighting by day, drinking by night. If the gods choose differently, perhaps you go to Folkvanger, the meadow of Freya, or maybe you find yourself in Hell, a cold and shadowy underworld. Your funeral is a spectacle. Perhaps your body lies in a ship, set aflame as it drifts into the sea, your soul sailing with it. Or you are buried in the earth with weapons, tools, and even sacrificed animals or slaves, all meant to follow you into eternity. Archaeologists still uncover these graves, filled with swords, coins, and entire boats, silent testaments to lives once lived. So this is your life if you were born a Viking. From your first cry in a smoky longhouse to your last breath beneath northern skies, every step is shaped by hunger, honor, and fate. Life is short, death is certain. But glory? Glory lasts forever. Now ask yourself, if you had been born a Viking, would you have earned your place in Valhalla? Or would your name be forgotten, lost to the snow and the sea?